Another edition of Xperience Sessions right here on indigomusic.com. I'm Rohit, and joining me once again is Sasha Tirupati. Sasha, welcome.
Thanks for having me back, Rohit.
How are you doing? How's it been for you since the last time we spoke?
It's been like a tornado. Of course, the entire EP is out now, and yeah, it's been a journey. Like, it's the first time I've experienced something like this, wherein it's my debut EP, right? So
Right.
First time ever that I've kind of put all my eggs in a basket and slowly, remitted a song after the other, and it's been such a beautiful, just like it's been like a voyage, because there's the entire process from conception to actually recording to songwriting to getting it mixed and mastered, and then getting the videos done and release, marketing, everything. Like, you're kind of like a one-woman army at that point, but it's just, it's so fulfilling when your baby has actually popped out, which is basically what it is now with the full EP out. So it's been incredible.
Right. And the last time we spoke, you had released your track, I'm Sorry Heart. How well was that received by your fans and your listeners?
We've got about like 60,000 hits on YouTube. So I'm actually quite happy that it's reaching me, especially considering it's indie, right? So there's nobody on board who's gonna like do your promotions for you, and there's no huge ass production agency and stuff, right? It's all you. So I think just the way people have dug the music, just the way people have kind of shared and just perceived of the sentiment behind the songs. I think I'm Sorry Heart did beautifully. Then we had Pretend, which was the third song from the EP.
Right.
We released that, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and that one seems to have been like a favorite amongst so many. That's like the heartbreak song. So I think you kind of test the waters with this as well, and kind of realize what people's where their vein is when it comes to their preference for music. And I've kind of realized that heartbreak is something people really dig. So that's like, food for thought for the next EP. But yes, it's been received beautifully. And with Medieval Minds, we just released like 2 days ago. So I think it'll take a little time for me to kind of be in a place where I can gauge what the reception's like, but people are loving it, and the video is very dope for that as well.
Yes, we'll talk about that. But before we speak about the video, what is Medieval Minds all about? Your brand new single, which completes your EP.
So there's two versions of Medieval Minds.
Right.
There's the original version, which is with Geba, but then there's also a bonus version of the same song that's on the EP. So everybody who hears the EP will get it. We're not doing not yet. We're not doing an individual release of that.
Right.
So Medieval Minds talks about it talks about moving on. It talks about how everything you've learned along the way of just being with somebody.
Right.
And the entire EP is not about physically being with somebody. It's about emotionally and mentally being. You've lived an entire relationship in your mind, right? This person has no clue that, you've actually gone through everything with him or her. So Medieval Minds speaks of the process of learning. It speaks of what transpires when you go through an entire relationship, the final stages of it, the end stages of it, and pulling yourself together and going on in a way where you're still hopeful, where it's not the end of the world, right?
Right.
You have your breakups, but then you kind of tell yourself that, okay, these are the mistakes I made. These are the things that I need to hold dear in the future. This is how I fix things. This is how I, hone myself to be somebody who, not changing yourself, but just making corrections, little adjustments you make in yourself, because we're not perfect, right? Yep. So it's kind of putting all this. So there's a line in the song which says, I'm fading in the sun. You left me out too long. Be no magician, just turn me inside out. So there's a personification here. There's actually symbolism here where she's saying that she compares herself to a piece of cloth or clothing, right?
Right.
You just leave out to dry, and she's probably referring to somebody who's probably let her fade. They've subjected her maybe to things that were unsolicited, or to emotions that are probably not the most optimal in a relationship. But
Right.
she's saying to the next person that don't be a magician and fix me. Just turn me inside out and I'll figure my shit out myself. So that's what Medieval Minds kind of is.
Wow. And the video is a little different, is what I would say. It's in vertical. It's not on widescreen. And also there's, there's just photographs of you, but it's in motion. And it's just done so brilliantly. Where did this idea come? Do you wanted to keep it like as simple like it looks, but it looks so good? Was that your thought when you planned this particular video?
So, I think that's the common factor in everything that I've every song from the EP. The EP is very representative of who I am as a person. Like, look at me right now, right? Simplicity.
Right.
I'm a sucker for, raw, organic, just real you. And I think that's kind of what the entire EP embodies as well. The sound of the EP, the mood of the EP, the videos, nothing is overtly dramatic, nothing is OTT, nothing's over the top. Yeah. But there's soul. I think that is so important. And that's kind of what we've tried to retain in Medieval Minds as well as the other videos that we've done. So in Medieval Minds, the idea was to do something which is obviously not cliche. I'm not the biggest fan of doing the typical Ferrari atta hai, and then you get it and then you got like 4 girls dancing, and which is great. I mean, I think that's a vibe, but then this is a different vibe. Right. So we wanted to do it in a way that it was, because the sound is it's medieval, it's vintage, it's old, it's Celtic, it's very there's nothing new about it.
Correct.
In terms of the sound, it talks about old school love is basically what. So when we did the video, we wanted to do something which obviously didn't have a Ferrari in it, right? We wanted to do something which had that very age-old aesthetic to it, and that is why you'll see me in attire which is quite old school. It's got that 20s feel to it, or maybe even earlier, like 1800s feels to it, right? Like late 1800s. But yeah, early 1900s. Sorry, I should probably fix that.
1800s. So. Too old.
Yeah. We go into the ball gowns and everything. But do we? Okay, never mind. Yeah. Sorry, now my ADHD mind is taking control of me, so I'm gonna try and block that off. But that was the idea, and we're so used to seeing everybody does everything on their phones these days, right? Yeah. So the moment you zoom into a video, you'll have to switch your screen over, and then you'll see the video. So instead, we're like, okay, what if we just want to hold our phone and just watch a video, and we want to do it in full screen? There you go. There's your portrait video, and it just came across so organically and so easily, and it just like everything just fit. Not easily. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of patience from the team. I got in touch with these people whose work I really liked on Instagram, and I was just like, hey, this is Sasha, and would you guys? So they didn't I think they cut my call, and then I think it took them like a good 6-7 minutes to call me back and be like, oh my god, ma'am, we were verifying that you're not a spammer. You were like the Sasha. They were like, oh my god. Yeah. So it was so humbling, but they were such darlings. This team from Chennai, they just got like 7-8 people together, and they're like, we're doing this, and I was like, oh my god. And so large-hearted. They went, and then I told them I didn't want normal photos. I wanted some sort of emotion to these photos. Right. So there were a couple of references I had in mind. So we wanted that 3D depth effect. We wanted somehow to bring these photos to life, right? So you will see a lot of the photos, they go, and at the end, we're talking about the black and white, the monochrome photos going into color. So that's how life is. That's how that's how you evolve, right? You break up, but then it might take time, but then your heart starts opening up again, and that's what going from monochrome to color kind of symbolized. So it's, if you actually sit down and look at the video, there's a lot of thought that's gone into it, and a lot of things will start making sense in general.
Right. Now that you've mentioned, I'm going to watch that video once again with with like literally I'm going to watch it and understand the thought behind it. Well, Sasha, we're going to be playing out your brand new single, which is called Medieval Minds, right here on the morning show. And of course, we'll connect once you're in Bangalore. You can come down to the studio and we'll have a face-to-face interview, which is always better than Zoom interview. So congratulations on completing your first EP. All the best for your
Thank you.
future endeavors. And it was great talking to you once again.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for having me. We need all your support.
Yes, and you definitely have our support. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you so much.